All right, welcome everybody to this Tuesday's Health Huddle. We have a lot of new people I see on the line tonight, so I'll just introduce it. My name is Brad Miller, first and foremost. I'm a certified health coach, and we do these calls every Tuesday, real quick, real easy. We also record them, so if you can't catch them live, we have a recording of them. And we just touch on a different topic of health per week. So it doesn't matter if you're in the weight loss stage of our program, if you're optimizing your health, or just considering utilizing this, or on a 3-and-3 plan, wherever you're at. This is just a topic to feed your healthy mind. So since we're talking about feeding our healthy mind tonight, we're talking about also feeding our healthy stomach. So this week's topic is eating good in the neighborhood. And what we're talking about today is basically all the different ways that you can enjoy your lean and green meal or your healthy options, for life on this. And hold on, I have someone who's, I think they caught themselves. All right, I'm going too far. I already gave away my funny slides. But just as we get started here, if this is your first call, we want to say welcome because one thing's really exciting is this is a habit of health. You get to expand your mind. These are topics from Dr. A's Habits of Health, or things that you can learn within the Habits of Health. And by being in community, online and plugged in, you are more likely to, and actually a stat that we found here is you're 57% more likely to be like the people you surround yourself with. So in the case of Zoom, look up and look down, and then just say you're welcome to the person next to you, or type it out in the chat or whatever it is you want to do. Because being surrounded by other people that are health conscious will spur you forward. So congrats on plugging in. Feel free to also chat in the box there. I'm going to share a topic today. And you can feel free to just share tips that you have on the subject. And as well as I'm going to have some people come off and just give some of their tips that they found, because this is an exploration process while we're getting healthy. So on the 5-in-1 plan, or any part of our program, one cool thing you get a day is a lean and green. So besides the 5 easy, healthy meals that you just grab, and I have mine right here, I have my shake, you just reach and you just grab nutrition every 2.5 to 3 hours. One of those times you're eating what's called a lean and green. So it's a lean serving of 5 to 7 ounces of a lean protein and 3 servings of non-starchy vegetables. So one thing I like to cover with people, because this is what people think a lean and green is, or what you should eat on a diet. And I usually catch people when they're first starting their program, and when I was guilty of it in the first place, I'm like, all right, bring on the boiled chicken and the steamed veggies, or bring on that salad with chicken again. And, if you like salad and chicken, go for it. It actually is one of my favorite salads is a chicken Caesar salad. But, it's not meant to be like this. It's not meant to be boring. It's not meant to be fun. And probably one of the coolest things about your lean and green while you're on plan and for life is that it should be fun, and you're practicing cooking. And one of my most favorite things that I learned while I was on my health journey was how simple it was to start changing out good food with the stuff that's in recipes or at restaurants with stuff that's not going to be conducive to my healthy life that I want. And it's just making small switches. So you get to have the taste without the bad stuff in it, just by making small adjustments. Like, here's an example, like sour cream. You can easily trade it out for Greek yogurt. It's lower glycemic, it's higher in protein. You get to have more of it. I'm trying to think here. Lettuce wrap buns on a hamburger, like just basically that bun's just soaking up the taste from the meat anyways, or the turkey burger, whatever's inside. You're surrounded in lettuce, it tastes even better. I'm missing a few different things here, but with some small switches. Spaghetti, I have one of those, for example. Did you know you could have spaghetti squash, which is even more amazing, and you don't have that gross feeling afterwards, like you have to roll over after you had your spaghetti. So we meant to have fun. So are you eating like the stuff that I showed there, or have you expanded and started having some fun with your lean and green? So if you're like me, you may not need to expand. I could eat taco salad every single night, and I get to expand because my wife does not like to eat the same thing every night, but I'm a guy and I could use 1 plate and 1 fork and the same lean and green 7 days a week. I'd be totally fine. But these are the things you can do to expand. These are just some recipes. Does your lean and green look like this? So over here in the left-hand corner, this is shirataki noodles. So they're a root vegetable. They're low in carb. You get to have a lot of them. So those are actually a vegetable, and you can make a stir fry with them. Here's that spaghetti squash spaghetti that I was talking about with lean turkey. And tomato sauce is essentially just tomatoes. So if you find some that's not packed with all the extra stuff that the large companies pack into it, you can have a healthy meal and a lot of great flavor in there. This right here is a Gina Schnabel favorite. So these are taco boats as well as a taco bowl. You can have a lettuce wrap. This is a shrimp mushroom melt. This is a broccoli and chicken stir fry, and this is bell pepper stuffed with lean ground turkey and some other fixings too. So I wanted to show you these basically to get creative and to know that you don't, if you're ordering salad with chicken, or you're boiling your chicken and you're having just plain vegetables, expand. One of the coolest things while being on plant is that your flavor, your taste buds are getting cleaned out, so you can taste things even better than you had before. So I know some of you guys, I can't see everyone because I can only have a few people on my screen right now, but you're probably saying, oh man, I know how good food tastes now, because it's not weighed down with all the extra garbage that's in the food, because you're just eating clean food while being on our plan. So the good reminder is, if you keep good food in your fridge, you will eat good food, and eat good food tastes good. So the topic this week is just to remind you that explore, expand. There are so many different ways to implement health. I just gave a few tips there, but if you trade out the old with the new, you can start to implement foods that you'll love for the rest of your life while on plan. Another one that I like is just a simple egg white, pesto, and roasted tomatoes. It's a great way to start the morning. It's quick and easy, and it's lean, and it's got spinach and everything in it too. So just keep your food, your pantry stocked, and this is a great way for you to practice long term and keep health. So I'm going to keep it really short tonight, but I'm going to encourage you guys this week to say, what am I going to explore? What different things do I want to do that are good for me? Not only good for my lean ingredients, that are good for my taste buds, but are also good for my stomach, and also can become staples in your eating routine. So with that being said, this is basically the topic for tonight. If I'd like to have anyone come off and just share, what's your favorite lean ingredient? What have you discovered that you didn't know before Planner? What are some simple adjustments you've learned to make since starting your lean and green, while on plan? And I'll just set it up for anyone to come off mute whenever you're ready.
Hey, Brad?
Yeah, who's there?
This is Tony.
Hey, Tony, go for it.
Hey, thank you for doing this. This is awesome. A great topic. One of the tips that I found helpful is actually splitting the lean and green also between times of the day, depending on your schedule. And at first, I wasn't sure. I thought I had to always have my lean and green just at dinner, but sometimes it's been helpful when there's a plateau or when I'm traveling, or if I have an evening event or a morning event, I can kind of adapt it and split my protein like 3 and 3. So that's been a tip that I really like.
Yeah, so that's one of the options that we have on plan. And if you're hearing that and that sounds like a good fit for you, connect with your coach to make sure it's a good lineup for your plan and where you're going. But yeah, Tony, I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's a great tip that you have in there as well, splitting up throughout the day. I love it. Who else has some tips of things that they discovered while I know I'm not the only one that has had probably that discovery while on plan.
Hey, Bradley.
Oh, of course, Dan, you're going to chime in. I'm giving you a hard time. I love it when you share.
What is up?
What's up?
I've found that there's like a pull in two different directions between like productivity or practicality and creativity, right? So there's we all have busy lives, so we want to have practicality, but we also want to have creativity, and there's a magic, and some people like the creativity part. There's those foodies out there, speaking of Bobby Scott, who love that, and then there's those like the guys. A lot of the guys are just, I'll eat the same thing over and over again. But I may be a nerd, but I love having like all these colors in my fridge. Like I love that, and I love cutting up veggies so they're sitting there, they're ready, and you're gonna eat it if it is like it said in that quote. And there are a ton of resources. I mean, you look at Pinterest. Take Shape for Life has a recipe corner for awesome lean and greens. So there's a lot of them. Your coach probably has a Facebook support group that they've plugged you into, and if not, ask them about it, because there's a lot of resources there. And one last thing is, like when we don't eat out a lot at restaurants, but when we do, we like to have a good, healthy as you can get in a restaurant. But Chelsea and I really like to like mimic the things that we try when we're out and about, and like put a healthy twist on it. Like you said, with different things, we tried eggplant. Like I've never had eggplant before, but we actually used it as a bun and a lot of crazy things. But so there's some ideas and thoughts to making it fun, being making it practical while being creative at the same time.
I love that. That's a tip I didn't even think about covering, is the practicality of it. I'll come back to that as we wrap up, because I think that's a really good one to hit on. Who else has some things that they found that was kind of a staple that they discovered they had no idea before plan?
Hey, Brad, this is Brandon.
Hey, what's up, B?
One of the things that one of the things I found is my life hasn't changed. It has changed a lot with being on plan, but my life is still my life. And I'm out running around talking to people and being part of the community. And so as I'm out running around and I have my stuff in my bag, every once in a while, I found a place called Salad to Go. It's something quick and easy. I could still run in and go through a drive-through. And so I just replaced the McDonald's with Salad to Go. It's a place that there's a lot of them around here. And, I'm going to eat healthy instead of eating just out of convenience. I can eat, specifically to what I'm trying to accomplish.
I like that, because that's a good tip too. A lot of people say, I don't know if I can find a lean and green out. You can make a lean and green anywhere. I've gotten super creative at the most interesting places. And the cool thing about the lean and green is it just helps you start to figure out where that comes from. And actually, Cindy just mentioned it in the chat. Gina Schnabel, you have come up with probably the most amazing recipe ever. So would you share with people what you did this week? Because it was nothing short of it was a masterpiece.
You can say genius. It's okay. No, I'm just kidding.
Genius, amazing, all the things. I mean,
okay, so I love cooking with my waffle maker, but I don't think anybody has talked about cauliflower yet. And it's you can rice it, chop it up in small pieces, and you could use it as rice and put your main over it, your main dish, whatever it is. But what I like to do is make the cauliflower pizza because my whole family likes it, but it takes so long. And I like to cook it till it gets crispy, bake it on both sides till it gets crispy, and I use the Sandy's Kitchen recipe for cauliflower pizza crust #2. And I decided to try it in the waffle iron, and it turned out great. So now I can make cauliflower pizza in about 30 minutes from either chopping the rice to using Trader Joe's also sells the cauliflower rice already in the bag. You could just buy it like that and, dish it out, scoop it out with your cup. So I threw it in the waffle iron, and it turned out amazing because it's cooking both sides at once, and it only takes 3 minutes to get your crust done. So it's pretty awesome. It's one of my favorites. We had it 3 days in a row, and yeah, cauliflower and cauliflower pizza.
Yeah, it's like a public service announcement. Cauliflower, it's good. Eat it. Make it into pizzas. Make it into rice. It's good for you. So
the more you know.
The more you know. So I think that's a good way to close up the call. Cauliflower, make it into anything. Make it into a waffle. Gina, it would be a hit if you were out here in Portland. They waffle everything. I was at a store the other day where they were having waffle sandwiches, and everything was served on waffles. So might be a hit up here in the Portland area. We're really weird. So that pretty much wraps up the topic this week, guys. Thanks for joining in. And the last thing I'll hit on is food prep is probably one of the most amazing things you can do. So if you like, a good practice is on Sunday, when on a rest day, get your meals prepped for the week. Have it set up in there. If you're like me, one of the things I do is I'll cook up a bunch of lean ground turkey or some lean meat or buffalo, and I just keep it in the fridge. If I need to grab it, it's right there. There's frozen vegetables. It's like lean and green in 2 minutes. You add some Greek yogurt to a hot sauce. You're ready to rock. And it doesn't look that great, but it tastes amazing. And I like it too. And actually, another tip that I did is you've seen burger lettuce wraps. Well, I've actually made a burger mashup in just a bowl. It doesn't look that good, and it tastes weird at first, but you're like, if you just picture a burger when you're eating it, it's probably the best tasting thing I've ever tasted. So just other tips that you have. And then also, if you haven't tried it, guys, we have these things called flavors from home. They're lean and green meals that are pre-made by Take Shape for Life. They are great in a pinch. So I like the turkey meatball. Those are another ones to grab. So these are all just great ways to cook good in the neighborhood. So happy cooking. The barbecue is also a great thing to utilize in the summertime. I highly recommend it. Just don't overchar your meat or your vegetables. And with that being said, explore, enjoy, create new staple dishes in your routine, and let's go out there and just make it another healthy week. Thanks for joining in, everybody, and everyone who shared.
Thanks, Brad.
Awesome. Good night, everyone.
What's up, Gina? You rock.
Good to see you, Dan.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, you guys, Gina and Dan, Brad. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Tony.
Bye.
Thanks, Tony.
Good night, John Boy.
Good night, John.
Bye, guys.
Hi, Annie.
Is Denise on? Or Lori?
I see